Once every few years, a show comes along that is groundbreaking, that is thought-provoking, that is compelling, that has a great story, but also makes you feel and care about these characters. So I think Prison Break, is one of those shows that audiences are eager to see, are gonna, get something out of it. It's the thinking man's TV show.
The idea for Prison Break came from a woman I was working with at the time, a woman named Frances Kelly, and she thought it would be great for a guy to put himself into prison to start a prison break, which I thought was a very intriguing idea. But at the same time, I thought it was probably the single stupidest thing that a human being could do.
I got involved with Prison Break because Gail Berman over at Fox called me and said, I have a script. You have to read this. I want you to do it. And I was like, okay. I mean, rarely do I get calls for TV shows. And I picked it up, I started to read it, and I cannot put it down.
So I had to answer myself two questions in order to kind of go forward with this storyline. The first of which is, there could be no other way that this guy could do this, right? So the stakes had to be so high, and there could be no other recourse. That's where the idea for the condemned brother came from.
And I read it, I called her up, I said, I love this, but I don't know where it's going to go. She goes, I got to sit you down with Paul Scheuring, who created the show, who has the next 5 seasons mapped out already.
And then the second thing was the protagonist had to be convinced he could pull this off. And that's where the idea came from, that this guy had access to the blueprints. And so kind of fulfilling those two mandates, then at that point, we just started filling out the storylines and just populated this prison with a lot of different kind of interesting characters.
The material is what really got me to say, I want to do this show. I mean, the characters, the relationship between the characters, there was heart. When you read the pilot, there was heart, and you really cared about what was going to happen to these characters. So for me, it was the script that sucked me in, and knowing that Paul really had a vision. Because a lot of pilots you shoot, for some people they don't get picked up, and it is a lot of hard work. And because Paul had it all mapped out and thought out, it just totally made sense for me to do it.